There's about $5 of raw material in the spool, so why the heck does it cost $25? So, let me break this down for you. The cost of a spool of filament, the raw material cost, we're gonna assume PETG or PLA and fairly low volumes of filament, basically on the amount of filament production that we have done in-house, where we only buy a few pallets of pellets at a time. So, in order to make filament, you take raw injection molding pellets and then you run them through a hot tube, an extruder, and it turns into filament. It costs a few pennies worth of electricity in order to create a spool of filament. But then at the end you have labor from a person pulling it off, and that's about it. It's really quite trivial. The spool itself can cost up to $1, and then the filament itself, those pellets, cost anywhere from $2 a pound, well, $1 a pound, to about $3 to $4 per pound, depending on what material it is. In the last year, PLA started to get really expensive because it's made by only one company and it's kind of a proprietary blend. And it's in short supply because everybody keeps on printing stuff. Anyway, the raw materials basically come to about $5 for a spool of filament. For certain filaments, it can go up to $7 or $8 for the raw materials for the spool. So that's the economics of what it costs to make a spool of filament. Now, the problem is, if you have something that costs $5 to make, you have to follow the rule of threes. If you are making any piece of hardware at all, you have to follow the rules of threes, which is however much it costs to make, you multiply that by 3, and that is the minimum price you have to sell it for in order to make a living. So $5 multiplied by 3, you have to wholesale this for $15. That pays for your marketing, that pays you for your staff, your overhead, the rent, the electricity, whatever it happens to be. All of that pretty much always gets caught by the rule of threes. And it's the same if you're making a cell phone, or if you're making a robot, or a pair of glasses. Rule of threes. That's the baseline of how to price something. Save that for if you're taking a product someday. Anyway, once you have the rule of threes, okay, fine. A filament manufacturer has to sell this spool for $15. But we bought this one off of Amazon. So what went wrong there and why does it cost $25? Well, now you're not just simply wholesaling it. You don't have basic business expenses. You now have free shipping, which is not free. Amazon charges sellers several dollars for free shipping that has to be implemented in the cost of the product. And then they also charge warehousing, which is $1 to $2 per month per spool of filament if it's not turning over very quickly. So, because it's less than a cubic foot of volume, and you can check Amazon rates to see what it is, it's about 75 cents per cubic foot to store something. So about 35 to 50 cents to store a filament spool for a month in an Amazon warehouse. So you have $5 to $6 of logistical cost in giving free shipping to people. That's still not $25 though. Well, now you have actual Amazon marketing, where you have to pay about a quarter of the cost of a product, at least if you have good marketing conversion rates, in order to pay to get one of these sold. So that's another $5. And that is how you come to the $25 final retail price for something that costs $5 to make. Hopefully that was a little bit insightful there. Filament is so expensive mainly because it's sold one spool at a time. So for us at Slant 3D, we buy it pallets at a time, so we generally get wholesale rates for that kind of stuff. And when we produce it in-house, we have that pure kind of functional cost rate of material of whatever the raw material cost was, plus the labor and the spool that goes into it. And we're not really getting rid of the spools, we reuse them. And that is what has been one of the real big enablers for how we've been able to mass produce parts reliably, because we're so close to the raw material cost of the beads themselves that the cost of a 3D printed part material and the cost of an injection molded part material are pretty much the same. So if you're making 100,000 pieces with 3D printing, the raw material costs are very close to the same as 100,000 parts injection molded, because we just have the injection molding machine squirting out a long string of plastic. But hopefully that gave you some insights as to why filament costs what it does. Check out our other videos for other topics about 3D printing and specifically mass production 3D printing. We publish videos every Tuesday and Saturday about all types of different topics. Comment down below if there's anything else that you'd like to see, or give us a like and subscribe. Have a great day, everybody.